So thank you for being here. As we come down to our mat today, we will bring the blocks just to the front of the mat. Bring your big toes together, take your knees nice and wide apart. Opening up through the chest, you can stretch the arms forward. The arms can either stay down to the ground, or if you'd like, I really like placing blocks underneath the forearms or the wrist just to elevate the arms a little bit, and that will start to open up through the lats and the upper back, opening up through the shoulders. And the forehead can rest down to the ground. Another option is the blocks under the elbows, lifting the forearms up, palms together like a prayer, and that will start to wake up through the triceps a little bit more as well. So take a few deep breaths here, just arriving in your body. Nice slow, deep inhale. And slow, deep exhale. Now gently stretch the arms forward. If they're on blocks, you can slide the blocks over to the side, nice and wide, and then press down through your palms. So really lifting the elbows now, pressing the palms down into the ground and really waking up through your back. We'll pull the hands towards the knees, sit up onto your heels, shoulders draw back, opening up through your chest. And then as you exhale, let's sweep the hands back forward towards the mat and down, back towards the ground. So we'll do that a few times, just rolling the spine all the way up, sit onto your feet, inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin. And then exhale, sweeping the hands back down, nice and slow as you lower towards the ground. Last one, breathe in. And exhale, breathe out. And now pressing down through your hands, round up onto your hands and your knees this time. Tuck your toes, lift your tailbone up towards the sky, look up. And downward facing dog, hips back. So you can pedal out your legs a few times, moving on your mat, starting to wake up through your feet, the backs of your knees, and move your hips from right to left as well. So really move into the sides of your waist. You can lift both heels up, come forward, high plank pose. Strong through your legs onto the tip of your toes. And then as you exhale, nice and slow with resistance, we'll lower down to the belly. So for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, untuck your toes, your feet, bring your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers, lift the knuckles up, lift your thighs up, nice and long neck. And then as you exhale, lower down through your chest, hands under the body. Tuck your toes either through hands and knees or through plank pose, lift yourself up. Downward facing dog, hips all the way back. Take a nice deep breath. Deep exhale. Lift your heels, come forward, high plank. Again, hold your plank pose, stay engaged through your legs. Option to drop your knees. This time we'll just lower halfway down. Press your feet back, come onto the tops of your feet, either upward dog or cobra now. Downward facing dog, hips back. Take a nice deep breath. Deep exhale. Just do one more of this half variation of sun salutation. So come forward as you breathe in. Option to drop your knees as you exhale will lower halfway or all the way down. Upward dog or cobra now. Breathe in, lifting through the crown. Downward facing dog, hips all the way back. Take a nice inhale. Deep exhale. Walk your hands towards your feet to the back of your mat. So you can bend your knees generously as you do that. And then try to take your hands, your wrists underneath your feet completely. So bend your knees as much as you need to do. Walking your hands underneath your toes and massaging through your wrists so you can walk your feet onto the hands, shifting your weight from side to side. We call this Hastasana. With your hands reaching under the feet, the backs of the hands are connected to the mat. Keep your hands under as you lift up through your back. And then bend the elbows a little bit wider as you pull your chest closer to your thighs. Try to lift your tailbone to the sky, neck nice and long. Good, now releasing the hands from under the feet. Sweep your hands behind your body, interlace your fingers opposite clasp, loop the shoulders back as you take your knuckles forward. Opening up through the chest, try to keep your palms connected if possible, and then straighten one leg and then the other. Just moving through the hips, nice and slow. Release your hands back down to the ground. Let's roll all the way up now. Pull your hands up your shins, your knees, your thighs. Start to rise all the way up to the sky. Shoulders shrug up to the ears. Exhale, release your shoulders down. Let's step to the front of the mat now. So come forward to the front. Tadasana pose, spread your toes. As you inhale, we'll reach the arms up. And then as you exhale, sink your hips down into a chair. So reaching the arms forward here, either level with your shoulders or up 45 degrees. Take a few moments to breathe. And then exhale, fold over your knees. Again, flat back as you inhale. Hands down to the ground, heel toe your feet a little bit wider now, and then sink your hips down towards a squat. So coming into a nice Malasana pose, elbows can press into the knees or the hands come down to the mat. You can use a block underneath your seat if you wish. Take a nice deep breath. With your hands down to the ground, lift your hips just slightly to step your right leg back. So right knee is going to come towards the mat. Left leg is still wide. Hands are to the inside of your left thigh. Let's take the right hand a little bit wider. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Twist. And then bring your left hand behind to your right thigh. Look over your left shoulder. Reach your left arm back up. Left hand comes down inside the left knee. Lift your back knee off of the mat. Drop your right heel down. We'll crawl all the way back towards the right leg now and start to lift the left toes. So you're right onto the heel, the heel of your foot, and sink your hips down towards the right. So taking a nice deep breath into the left thigh, into the hamstring. Crawling your hands back towards the front of your mat slowly. Plant your hands flat inside your left knee and step forward to the front outside of your right pinky. Hips lower down, Malasana pose, hands to your heart. Take a nice inhale. Nice deep exhale. Hands come back down towards the mat. Step your left leg back now. Left hand can stay down. Drop your left knee. Reach the right arm up and twist your body, opening your chest. Bring your right hand behind to your left thigh. Look over your right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath. So you want to feel your pelvis getting a little bit heavier down towards the mat. Reach the right arm back up towards the sky. Right hand circles down towards the ground inside the right knee. Lift your left thigh. Left knee is off the mat. Drop your left heel down. Crawl all the way back towards the left knee as you start to lift the right toes. So your hips can stay high or they can start to drop down nice and slow. Try to feel this into the right hamstring as if you're trying to plug your right heel back in towards the socket of the hip. Bring your hands back to the front of your mat. Crawl forward as you breathe in. And then step forward as you breathe out. Sink your hips down. Malasana pose. Now take the left shoulder under the left thigh. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Bring your right hand towards the right knee and press it away from your body just slightly. So lean over to the left. Good. Come back through center. Right shoulder comes under the right thigh. Right hand comes a little bit wider. Twist your spine. Lift your left arm. Left hand presses now down towards the left knee and away from your body. So creating a little bit more space in the left hip. Bring your hands back to center, hands down to the ground. Lift your hips slightly to step your right leg back. Drop your right knee. Right hand comes a little wider on the mat. Left arm towards the ceiling, twist, like that lizard pose. Right hand sweeps behind to your right thigh. This time, if you'd like to try, lift your right heel and reach back for your right toes with your left hand. Good. Right foot comes back down. Right knee lifts up. Easy twist. Left hand comes up and lifts. Left fingers come to the inside of your left knee. Crawl to the back of your mat. Skandasana variation. Lifting your left toes up as you sink your hips down to the right heel. And then crawl forward now to the front of your mat, inside your left knee, but ground your right heel down towards the mat. So we'll find a warrior two pose, come all the way up. Bend into your left knee, stack your shoulders over your hips, arms open wide into a T. Take a nice deep breath. Deep exhale. Bring the right hand to the thigh, left arm stretches back. And then as you exhale, bring your left hand inside your left knee, right arm comes up. So keep a nice deep bend in your left knee. Right hand can come behind your back to your left thigh. And if you'd like to try, you can reach your left arm under and maybe find your right fingers for a bind. Notice if you're collapsing your right shoulder forward, try to roll your right shoulder back. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, release the left hand to the mat, the right hand comes down to the ground. Come onto your back toes, look forward as you inhale, and step forward as you exhale. Hips low. Feel the difference within your hips. Take a nice deep inhale. Right shoulder can come underneath the right thigh, right hand wide, left arm to the sky. This time, if you'd like, bring your left hand behind. Maybe find a bind reaching for the right fingers. Good. Reach to the left arm back up, right hand down. Hands come towards the ground. Once your hands come down, we'll step the left toes back now. Okay, drop your left knee. Right arm comes up slowly. And then reaching behind your body. You can keep your back foot down, or you can start to float your left toes if possible, coming onto the knee and reaching back for your left toes or ankle with your right hand. Lower the left toes back down. Easy twist. Lift your left knee, right hand lifts. Right hand circles back to the mat. Crawl back towards the left thigh and sink your hips. Come back to the front of your mat. Bend your right knee for warrior two. Come all the way up. Deep bend in your front knee. Look past your right fingers. Strong through your legs. Left hand comes to the left thigh, right arm pulls back. And then right hand comes to the inside of the right knee, extended side angle, left arm comes up. You can sweep your left hand behind your back to your right thigh, maybe bind. Bring your right hand back down to the ground, left arm comes up. Circle it all the way around to the front. Come onto your back toes, look forward, and then step forward. Hips low. Left shoulder nuzzles under the left knee, right arm comes up. You can stay like this or wrap your right arm behind your left hip. Maybe find your left fingertips. Take a nice deep breath. Start to release the stretch. Bring your hands back towards the mat. Remove a block if it was underneath you and come down to sit. Place your feet flat. Take both shoulders now underneath your knees. Grab hold of your ankles. So option one is to place your feet together like a nice wide butterfly. The elbows are free, wrapping your wrists just around your ankles and folding forward. This is option one. Option two, if you know the variation of Karnapandasana pose, your feet are a little bit wider. Your arms are nice and wide, the elbows are free, and maybe slide your heels forward as you lower your chest down. So we call this the turtle pose, drawing all of our senses inwards. Take a nice deep breath. Deep exhale. Now start to bring your hands a little bit closer if they're wide. Lift your chest. Draw your feet back together. Keep your elbows just underneath your knees. Wiggle your bum closer to your feet and start to lift your feet off the mat. So you're still holding onto your ankles. Your knees are wide. Balancing onto your sit bones. Hands can now come to the chest. Knees come together to connect and find Navasana pose. Take a nice deep breath. Extend through your toes, lean back halfway. Come back through center, breathe in. Extend your feet, exhale. Good, again, inhale. Lean back, exhale. Come up. Lower halfway down, your hands can come to the ground, hollow out through your back. And then release all the way down to your mat. Once you do that, draw your knees to your chest and give yourself a little rock from right to left. Place your feet down to the ground, reach for your heels. Lift your hips up for your bridge variation. So if you'd like, you can interlace your hands underneath you, wiggle your shoulders closer together, lifting your hips higher. Or you can support underneath your pelvis with your hands. Nice deep belly breath. Lower your hips back down to the ground. Arms open nice and wide now. Feet can come a little bit wider apart and start to windshield wiper your knees. As you twist, look in the opposite direction of your knees. Gather your knees in towards your chest. And rock up and down your spine. Now as you come all the way back up into seated pose, extend your legs nice and long. You can lift your hips higher. Move the flesh away from your sit bones and reach your arms up to the sky. Now start to fold over your legs, your thighs. You can reach for your calves, your ankles, or your toes. Lengthen your back. And then a nice forward fold as you exhale. Bow towards the legs. And lifting your chest back up. And then as you exhale, come back up to sit. Crossing your legs, your ankles. Find a block to sit onto, or a pillow, or a bolster. So you can lift your hips just a little bit higher. Now, if you prefer to meditate on your back, if it feels uncomfortable to sit, you can always lie down on your mat or even sit into a chair. We'll just first start with a little twist. So lift your arms up. And then twist to the left. Right hand connects to the left thigh, left hand behind your spine. Come back up through center. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, twist, left hand towards the right thigh. Reach your arms back up, nice and high. Inhale. And then exhale, hands to your heart through center. And lower your hands back down towards your knees. So again, choosing a comfortable place for you to sit or lie. Finding a place of stillness inside. Relaxing the shoulders down the back. Softly closing the eyelids. Drop into your breath. And let your breath carry you. Each breath in, creating a little bit more space, awakening the body and mind. And as you exhale, releasing any stress, any worry, feeling lighter, less pressure. Now visualize your day. How would you like to feel? So visualization is just like daydreaming with intention. Choosing to be calm and peaceful. To not let the little things get under the skin. And to continually check in. So how would you like to feel? How are you going to show up today for yourself? Each breath in, feeling lighter, awake, alive, vibrant. Each breath out, letting go of stress, worry. Releasing what you no longer need to carry. And take just a few more moments. Imagining as your day is unfolding. And if you'd like to add an affirmation, you can begin with the words I am. I am here now. Connect your hands back towards your heart, towards your chest. Close with a nice deep breath. Inhale through your nose. Nice sigh through the mouth, let go. And rub your palms together quickly. Create friction, warmth through your hands. Let the hands just rest over the eyes gently. Slowly let the light come back. The hands can lower to your thighs. And have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.